Hello, everyone.
About the Smiths boy.
Freak.
The lad went missing one day, so folk nagged a witchman that was hunting nearby. Started poking him, asking him. When he started twisting and squirming, so wham bam, they knocked his head off.
This is Bob and Threadbare, and welcome back to The Witcher 3.
It's Dervan now. D-E-R-V-A-N, not Goidemar.
What? What do you mean? I know what they named you at your cutting. What kind of name is that anyway? Dervan.
Nilfgaardian. My gran was from Nazaire.
Oh, so that's how it is. Then by my leave, Master Dervan, may the Gold Sun guide you far away from my land.
Good day to you, good day.
It's raining, it's pouring, and Bernie's snoring. He bumped his head when he went to bed and wet himself in the morning.
Is there trouble? What do you say? Who taught you that?
Chetty.
Now listen carefully. You're never to sing that rhyme again. Never. And you're not to play with Chetty no more.
But Chetty's my best mate.
Chetty's a little fool who'll get us all killed. I see you with him again and you'll regret it.
So we got some issues here with Nilfgaard occupying Temeria. And this is the notice board. There are notice boards located throughout the entire game. You can tell the ones you haven't visited yet because they're yellow and have an exclamation mark next to them. And you can find various notices on them, including, usually the tall ones here, contracts that a Witcher would be interested in performing. And hey, look, the two notices are missing from the board now. I can also read them now that they're in my inventory. I'm not sure if you have to take them off the notice board or not. He seems upset.
That griffin's a real scourge.
I think it has something to do with all the burned buildings.
What happened here?
Oh, got a wee bit chilly the night, so I set fire to my forge. Got it nice and roaring. Roasted some wieners. What do you think happened, dimwit? Some bugger set alight me workshop. I've lost everything. Everything!
Sorry. Any suspects?
Whole damned village. I've lived here half a century. Thought they saw me as one of their own. But everything changed when the Black Ones came. I'm the only smith around, so I got to serve as their garrison. Bang dents out of plate, shoe horses. That sort of thing. Nilfgaardians don't pay me a bloody copper. Just give me supplies and orders. The humans can't fathom that. They think I'm getting rich off their misfortune. That I sleep on a pile of gold like a ploughing dragon. They've stopped talking to me. Spit when I pass. And now this.
I can find your arsonist, provided you're willing to pay.
I've not much left, but I'll give you all if you bring me that horse in, so that he gets what he deserves. The night of the fire, I heard movement outside my hut. Went out to see if I could find any tracks, but found nothing. But then I haven't got cat eyes, have I? Good luck.
Alright, got ourselves a brand new side quest here. And by holding the right mouse button, yeah, Witcher senses, you can see it in the lower right there. Items you can interact with glow, and clues glow red.
Footprints. A man's. Large. Shavings from a tinderbox. Arsonist must have lit his torch here, tossed it on the roof, then fled through the orchard.
Oh, hey, it is a white orchard. Anyway, the thing is that you don't actually need Witcher senses in order to see...
Stinks of piss. And vodka.
In order to see the footprints. They just highlight them and make them glow red. Make them easier to spot. But if I wanted to... I could just look at the ground. The textures are there. You can see his footprints here on the clear ground. And on the sandy beach here.
Took off his boots and went in the water. Probably wanted to cover his trail.
Yeah, you can see the nature of the footprints changing. Guessing he must have gone underneath the bridge, but we can go over it. Must have left the water at some point. Doesn't look like he went straight across, at least.
Making me a slingshot.
Oh, here we go.
Soup out of something. But Tosley said he'd not give his dog this water. With so many corpses rotting. Sure to be poisoned.
Sure, not so sure. Who knows? Will you go to the well in Hovel instead?
Not in the lago. I'd rather be ill than disturb ghost.
Something jumped out of the rushes. Drowners. But he managed to escape. Lost his boots in the rush.
Some of the ground is easier than other parts for detecting the footprints. That's when Witcher senses really come in handy.
Freak.
Bleeding, but not badly. Surface wound.
Looks like whoever it is lives here.
Trail ends here, but I'll recognize him by his wounds.
And while I'm here, I might as well take everything. You know, might as well. I mean, not too much reason for doing so, but still.
Drowner claw marks. It's gotta be him. Nasty wound. Run into a drowner?
What the fuck do you care?
Whoa, our arsonist's a charmer too. Come on, Smith wants to talk to you.
I ain't talk to a non-human. Sons of bitches all, and dwarves are the worst. Greedy little magpies, do anything for gold, they will. They forge the blades the Black Ones put to our throats, am I not right? Listen, we can work this out man to man. I give you gold, you don't turn me in. My mum died a while back and I sold her tools. I've spent some, but what's left is yours.
So here's the thing about unintended consequences. If I turn this guy in, then the dwarf will become further isolated from the community. But I would also be letting a racist get off in the meantime. I want to explore that second option. So for now...
Fine. I'll agree to that, if you swear to stop playing with fire. Fail to do that and I'll come back, and someone will get hurt.
Of course, Master Witcher. I swear on me dead mum. Your gold, and here's to your health. Down with the Black Ones and non-humans alike.
Alright.
Looking for trouble.
So we didn't find the arsonist, but we did already get paid, so the fact that Willis won't pay us is, well, fine.
Couldn't track your arsonist down. Sorry about that.
Damn shame. Well, the Black Ones might catch him eventually. Do you need anything? I managed to save some things from the fire. And my anvil's whole. I could bang something out. You know, can use every copper now. A return customer. Welcome. What can I do for you this time?
Show me what you got.
Alright. So this is the blacksmith. Buys and sells armor and weapons. Offers a few sundry items like saddle and saddlebags. Don't need them though. They did not improve between game versions. However, he does also sell diagrams of armor, because he's an armorer, along with diagrams for glyphs, like we see here. Glyphs are things that you add to armor in order to give them permanent improvements and improve your signs. He's also got a bunch of items that are effectively crafting ingredients. Also, now that I've bought some stuff from him, he's got more money. Now, what he does not do is take every type of item. Sellers of all sorts in this game have restricted options. Also got armor repair kit diagrams. Now, Geralt can't craft stuff himself. He can do alchemy himself, but not crafting. To do that, I'll need to visit an armorer or a blacksmith, one of the ones who does the weapons. Also, something else you just noticed, a bunch of question marks have appeared on the map. They appear in a radius surrounding the notice board. They appear when you look at a notice board nearby. And speaking of the notice board, the two things we got there are one official Witcher contract and one side quest. Now, first thing I'm going to do is the Witcher contract, and it looks as though the contract issuer is right nearby. Also, you see a bunch of leaves on the minimap. Those are herbs that you can gather. I'm not really going to be gathering them, though, because they aren't worth that much, and I've got all the potions I need. And decoctions. I may still do some alchemy, but for the most part I don't need to. Especially since the potions work on percentages, rather than absolute values. So they're always good.
Greetings, good man. Having trouble with your well? That's what I read.
Aye. 'Tis haunted. Has been for a good 20 years.
20? So why'd you put out a notice just now?
'Cause earlier on we drew our water from the river. But so many corpses floating in it after the battle it's turned noxious. My daughter Mandy drank half a pitcher. Fell dreadful ill, can't keep nothing down. She grows worse by the day. Herbalist claims you fight a fever with drink. And not beer nor cider, but water. Clear, pure water. And where am I to get that if not from the well? But first, the ghost's got to be driven away. And it don't let any man near.
This ghost. Describe it for me.
Well, it's awful frightening. Awful.
I meant, what does it look like?
It looks like a woman, but fresh from the grave. Wears a dirty dress, all rags, its skin flaking off its bones, and it howls like it's suffering.
Some wraith. Or maybe an alp.
If you don't wallop it, Master, if you don't take care of it, that is, it'll come kill me daughter.
Alright, but first of all...
I feel for you, but this is my job, so let's talk about my pay.
Something not right with the coin.
Witcher contracts always allow you to negotiate your rates. But you can see the annoyance level there.
If you could drop your price a bit, I'm sure we'd agree.
If you annoy them too much, they'll just demand the base rate.
That settles it then.
Fine, I'll help. Where's this well?
In Havel, a settlement on the heights. It's abandoned now, no one ventures there on account of the ghost being about. Drive it off, please.
Alright. So yeah, the annoyance level can go up quickly or slowly depending on how much you demand. And, how did I not see you two?
She's a fever. Has fainting spells. She's in a bad way, Master. A bad way.
Can't even interact with her. Anyway, this seems straightforward enough, at least at this end. Little girl is sick, needs pure water. Water from the river has gone rancid from all of the dead bodies in it.
Heard of the Fryhead Brigade?
And while some people are drinking it anyway, there's really only one pure, fresh source of clean water anywhere nearby, and that is a well in the Heights part of White Orchard. And it is just down this road, based on where the minimap is leading me. Ah, new marker. Excellent. So, in The Witcher, markers are fast travel points. But you can only travel from fast travel points, so you need to find one of the markers in order to travel to a different spot. It's a little bit inconvenient, but all in the service of making sure that you keep moving around. Anyway, so yes, that's obviously a Spectre, so I'll put some Spectre oil on my silver sword and go and challenge her.
The infamous well. A Moonwraith. Wonder what it's doing here. Strange, she's not attacking.
Oh, now she's attacking. So, here's the thing about Noon Wraiths and other creatures like her, which is that she does not take damage easily. The only way to really deal damage is to lure her into the trap of Irden, which I've got set up here.
She fled, but she'll be back tomorrow. Something's keeping her here.
There are other forms of Irden, and so long as she is actively affected by it, then...
Body's dried to a crisp. Signs of burns. Moonwraith did this.
Yes, we've already established that, thank you. Yeah, so long as she is actively affected by the trap, then she becomes physical enough to harm with the silver sword. So it's a two-step process. Looks like I could clear this out. But I'll have to hit it pretty hard. Sorry. Not too much hidden in this case, but it is something to keep in mind. There will be further obstacles, sometimes outlined in red, sometimes not. That can be cleared away just with a not-so-gentle push. Also, because this is a second playthrough, I am finding a wide variety of powerful items in random chests, because that is tied to your level, and the level scale ends basically where the first playthrough does. And aside from that, the weapons do scale with your level, weapons and equipment. So the stuff that I find here is going to be powerful enough to be used.
Journal. Might be useful.
Alright. Looks like they had a problem with their lord. They went over their lord's head in order to get free of him. But now he's come back, supposedly, to make things right. But considering where we are and what's happened, does not seem like it ended well. I mean, hell, there's a tree growing through this damn hovel. Oh yes, and here we have the bestiary. Not too many items in it yet. But we do have Noon Wraiths in general. Moon Dust also, that's another way of tying them to this plane. And unique Witcher contract enemies also get their own specific entry.
Something's tied the Noonwraith to this place. An object. Something she needs before she'll leave this world.
And yeah, the bestiary contains good advice on what to do.
Noonwraith won't stray too far from the well.
Which implies that whatever ties her here is in or nearby.
Bloodstains. Almost faded. But the line's taut. Something's not right. A corpse, hanged by the bucket rope. Woman the journal belonged to. Must be. Wide pelvis, small jaw. A woman. Around 30, judging by the teeth. Left arm's missing. Need to cremate the remains. Gotta find the object that binds her to this place before I do, though. Was she wearing the bracelet from her husband? Might be why her arm fell off. Gotta jump down there. Hope I don't break my legs.
Oh. Oh, good. By the way, interesting note. But, at least early on, there was a bug where you were not allowed to dive into the water, and thus could not take this step during this part of this quest. It would also get in the way of other quests and such. You're supposed to be able to dive, but I believe that clearing it is fairly simple, just a matter of saving and restarting the game. I don't recall it actively ending my game entirely when it happened to me. And I don't think it's happened very recently, so I'm pretty sure they found it and patched it. So that's just sort of an interesting note.
Lucky not to come up empty-handed. A bracelet with an inscription. To Claire, from Volker. Bracelet must have belonged to the woman in the well. Lovely craftsmanship, but I'll have to burn it with the body to get rid of the Noonwraith for good. Better do it near the well.
And until then, we gotta figure out how to get out of here. I mean, clearly this well also has a body problem. But the body is 20 years old, so water should be clear again. An interesting sharpening effect there. With all the roots. Nothing here but an air pocket. But that's fine. We needed one. Now that said, there is a potion that gives you a much more breath. I believe it's called Killer Whale. Most of the potions are themed off of animals and nature. Like Golden Oriole, Swallow, Thunderbolt.
Need to prepare for this fight. Brew some wraith oil. Drink some potions.
Now we're good. Already got some Spectre oil. Already got a whole ton of level up bonuses. And it's still daytime. 2:20, 2:30. It's not letting me save for some reason. But we should be fine. Just need to burn her connection to this material plane, and so that next time she's banished, she'll be banished for good.
And the bracelet. Igni.
Oh. Quite the tongue you have there, madam.
Hey, I think it worked.
So yeah, basic strategy here is, if possible, to lure her to the near side of the Irden circle. And when she spawns, when she sort of triplicates herself, her fake versions do not need to be in the Irden circle.
She's gone. For good.
And we take ourselves our first trophy. Now, trophies are special items that you can attach to your horse. They are horse items, you can see here. And each one provides a small but persistent bonus. In this case, bonus experience from humans, since the Wraith is a former human. I suspect. I suspect that's the reasoning. Anyway, some of the trophies appear as actual items on the horse, others appear as just these little bags. Noonwraith is kind of boring looking. But hey, not gonna scoff at 5% more experience. That's one other thing about this game, is that experience is mostly tied to relative level versus the challenge rating of the enemy. So if you hit something much lower level than you, you'll get less experience from it. And also the amount of experience you need is always pretty much the same for every single level. I think the first couple only need 1,000, but the rest only need 2,000.
Job done. The well was haunted by the ghost of a woman who was killed there. I drove it away.
I just hope every unburied wretch don't start haunting us. Well, that battlefield's gonna cause us a heap of trouble.
If they do, you know who to contact. Meanwhile, Claire, Volker, names ring a bell?
I don't know him. Though I did hear our herbalist Tamira mention a Claire once. Same one, maybe? Your reward, Master Witcher. The gold I'd hid away for Mandy's dowry. Without you, she'd never have lived to wed. Now, let's hope for it, at least.
It's only 22 gold. I really don't need it.
At this point, doubt I'll ever marry. You keep the coin from Mandy, her wedding. Raise a toast to my health then.
Thank you, Master Witcher. Them's warm words, you've a good heart. But I can't let you go empty-handed. Take this, at least.
Alright, what do you give me? Oh, an amethyst. Jesus, that's worth a lot more. Thanks for that. You don't always get rewarded for turning down rewards, but in this case you do. And in any case, looks like we've got that other secondary quest there. And he's located back in the ransacked village we passed on our way over to Wosong Bridge. But we do have a whole bunch of question marks we still need to clear. So, I think I will head around the map a bit, see what I can find out there. Just as soon as Roach actually decides to follow my commands.
Move it!
You can actually make the horse jump, by the way. It's the same button, spacebar. Same button as Geralt's jump button, I mean. Anyway, got a bit of a distance here to cross in order to... Oh dear, here's a bear. A level 60 bear with a red skull over his head to indicate that he's a bit out of my power range. Or, I should say, a bit out of what the game expects to be my power range. Because I just nailed him with 9 blows. You can tell because I got 60 per use of oil. Alright, looks like whatever it is up on top of this cliff here, so I gotta find a way up. But yeah, because I've specialized in melee combat, I've gotten a lot of bonuses that have just stacked up on top of it.
A place of power.
And make me hit much heavier than my level would indicate. Also, scattered throughout the game, you'll find these places of power, one for each sign, and one for each area. Each time you find one, you will get one ability point, and a boost to the relevant sign for a considerable number of minutes.
Don't let him catch his breath!
Alright, looks like we've got a deserter camp here. Now, the thing about humans is that, dang it. Fighting them actually involves, weapon combat, which means they have the chance to parry or counter my blows. Some of them also have bows, which makes them really annoying to face. Most of them are also carrying their weapons that you can grab off of their bodies once you kill them. Most of the weapons are pretty much worthless, but because this is the second playthrough, they actually have a significant value because they are based around my level. Anyway, this was a bandit camp encounter, and it's not complete until you find the one chest with decent stuff in it. Sometimes there's more than one, mostly it's just one though. And grab everything inside. Then you've officially cleared it, and it turns from white to gray. You'll notice that I also cleared the place of power by drawing from it. Also, another point, the Axis sign, the brain muddling sign, is always active while you're on a horse, because the horse has a fear level and will buck you off if it hits the maximum. There's an item to give the horse more fear level before it startles. But the other way you can handle it is by using Axii on the horse in order to calm it down. Or you can just leap off your horse and attack on foot each time. Which is, generally speaking,
Show me what you got.
much easier. Dang it. Knocked my shield off twice in a row. Gotta watch out for that. There we go. Oh, and the bear was guarding...
Magic. A place of power.
Exactly. I believe places of power also exist in the previous games. Not exactly with this mechanic, but as locations where you can power up. I believe in the first game you actively had to find a place of power in order to activate each of your Witcher signs for the first time. Because remember, you had supposedly lost your memory. Anyway, we got some ghouls here, and ghouls are necrophages, so that's the kind of oil I'm looking for here. Ah, here we go. Necrophage oil. Just what I need. I believe they have regeneration when they glow red like that. And they glow red when there's bodies nearby. And in this case, what we found is an abandoned site. Abandoned sites are overrun with monsters or with bandits, and the population will return once you clear them out. In exchange, you get that wordless little cutscene, some experience points. I think you get a little money sometimes.
What?
Got anything interesting?
But then the main thing you get is a new merchant who sets up shop in the area and carries some pretty decent items. Or would, if I needed any decent items. Also, there are two ways of clearing all of those little asterisks off of your,
Farewell.
Two ways of clearing those asterisks off of your inventory. One is by mousing over each of the items, and the other is by auto-sorting them. Anyway, right now I'm just sort of figuring out which order I should clear the question marks in. I've decided on just a straightforward left-to-right approach. Seems simple enough. Huh, got some drowners over here. Luckily, drowners are also necrophages, so this should be pretty easy. Refresh my Quen. Oh, and by the way, my sword is now fully powered up. So all of the sigils along its length are glowing and like actively flashing with energy, and they leave behind these long trails of light as I swing. It's a really neat effect. But sadly, nothing can last forever, and it's already faded down to level 9, which is just the active, just has the active sigils on the sword. And at lower levels, maybe you've noticed this, maybe you haven't, but at lower levels, well, the sigils don't cover the entire length of the blade. It's just like more of them start glowing as you start hitting things with it. Dang, one blow. You may have also noticed that my hands sometimes glow red. That is from the effect caused by the sigils that I have placed on the sword. Not necessarily the ones you see, but those little orange spirals means that I visited one of a special crafter in one of the DLCs who can do that if you get him enough equipment. Ah, dang it. Alright, yeah. The guys with the big weapons can actively counter you regularly. Alright. Had just about enough. I had just about all I can take of your dang bow. But yeah. So the special ability I've got on my weapons right now is one that allows me to transfer unused vitality regeneration into additional attack power. And since I've got that one mutation or a special ability that allows me to constantly regenerate by eating food, well, that's got some very good synergy right there. Anyway, this was another bandit camp, as you probably noticed. And now that I've grabbed all the good stuff they had, I can leave them in pieces. Next question mark is the bridge here. Or to be specific, all of this loot under the bridge. Because this is a smuggler's cache. It's not necessarily guarded, sometimes it is, sometimes not. But the point is that some smuggler left a bunch of stuff here, and Geralt now has an opportunity to grab it. Dang it. Alright, and yeah, when you grab it all, well, then you get to move on. So, we will get close to Dune, or Dune, however you're supposed to pronounce that. But first we're going to get these last two... Oops. Question marks. Looks like one of them is in the ruins over here. Seems to be a way up along the side here. Well, the actual question mark is still high above it. Looks like there used to be a brick bridge onto that area, but it's gone now. A couple of wolves down here. But yeah, it's worth noting that... Oh, dang it. The bandits spotted me. And there still doesn't seem to be a way up there. Just refresh the oils while I'm thinking about it. Alright. It doesn't look like an easy way up here. And if I keep going counterclockwise, I will fall off a cliff. So... it'd be nice if I could get up here. Sometimes you can sort of screw with the game engine by starting to fall and then rolling forwards up the side of one of these cliffs. Doesn't always work though. There does need to be at least some sort of a slope you can roll up for that to work. Oh, dang it. Well, it looks like there's a land bridge here that could work. Which goes up to the bridge up here. But I'm having trouble getting back to where I started. Because there are a bunch of cliffs along the way. And, You know what the most annoying thing about all of this is? If I had spotted that land bridge when I started this whole thing out, I wouldn't be taking nearly this much time to get up there. But I will say that at least this is consistent, because I've played this game 3 times before, and all 3 times it is annoying as hell to get up there. I think I've killed myself more than once just from the fall damage. Yeah, there's fall damage in The Witcher 3, and fall damage is pretty much all or nothing. Okay, land bridge will be to my left now. Where the heck is it? I mean, no wonder I had trouble finding it. It's not really that obvious. But yeah, fall damage in this game is pretty much all or nothing. There are a few specific heights where you take some fall damage but don't die. And then there's a remarkably low height where if you fall that far, you just die. Die on the spot.
Oh, you're fucked. Don't let up! With me!
Dang it. Alright. Good. Dealt with. So two-handed weapons are good at countering. So with them, your best tactic is to dodge behind them. Particularly when they swing, but you can also just dodge behind them in general. They can't spin around fast enough to deal with you. Anyway, don't need to tell you this, but we're found ourselves a new bandit camp full of Temerian deserters who have decided that instead of fighting and dying for Temeria, which no longer exists, they are going to go into business for themselves. And by business, I mean banditry. They're going to go into banditry for themselves. This is the guy they were talking about in the village. The School of the Viper Witcher, who was located at the same time that a little girl went missing. So they captured him, tortured him to death, and only after he died did they find out, oh no, a drowner killed a little girl. At which point they just sort of shrugged and went, well, that was our bad. And so they kept his sword diagrams, buried one with him, kept one where they performed the interrogation up here. And if I find them both, I can have a swordsmith make them for me.
So, we'll look for Bastion later, once it's safe.
But until then, I got a different job to do.
Do that often? Talk to your dog?
It's my brother's, Bastion's. But guess he's mine now. See, Bastion fought the Black Ones in a battle just outside the village. Haven't had word of him since. I told him, do like I did, lose a finger or two so they won't recruit you. Too damn afeard he was. Bloody hell.
I'd walk the battlefield if I were you.
I did. Sea of corpses. And corpsers, feeding. Someone told me they were feared of fire, so I took a torch, tried to chase them off. Horse shite, I tell you. Would have ended up eaten alive if it weren't for Hussar here. Listen, guessing you carry those swords for more than show. Come with me, keep the ghouls off. Help me find Bastion and I'll pay you well.
Fine, I'll help you. Just been a few days since the battle. Chances we find your brother alive are slim. Very slim.
Who would have thought? But I want to find his body at least. So Bastion don't rot there in the sun with the Black Ones. Meet me on the hill overlooking the battlefield. We'll move on together from there.
Alright then. Interesting pants he's got on there. And I guessing they're frightened from the fact that I spotted these drowners who have been here this entire time. Dang it. By the way, these are explosive barrels I'm surrounded by. Sort of reddish ones. And if I use Igni, I can set them on fire. Cause them to explode. Or I could just kill them with my sword, which is what I'm specialized in doing. But what we've got here is a guarded treasure. Now, the circumstances surrounding the guarded treasure tend to change from one location to another. But in general, it just means that there is one or more monsters nearby, and some relatively good chests in the area. And you generally have to deal with the one to get the other. Oh, they've got a sign here. Burying the bodies of hanged deserters and rebels is hereby strictly forbidden. Looks like Dune might get in trouble if anyone cares enough to, or happens to spot him in the middle of doing something. Anyway, we have now come across a monster nest. So, of course, one feature of monster nests is that there are a lot of monsters in the area. In this case, ghouls. Oh, sword just went off. There we go.
Ghoul nest. Ought to just destroy it.
And so long as you have a bomb in your inventory, you can drop it into the nest, cause it to explode, and then check the remains for some more goodies. Some pretty nice goodies. Usually it's better than the stuff that you'll find on their bodies themselves. And in some cases, destroying nests is the only way to find certain creature parts that are otherwise rare or impossible to find on their bodies. That's important when you're brewing potions, which mostly use, or at least half use, monster parts in their recipes. As do most Witcher items, by the way. And so we will actually need monster parts
No choice.
for that. Oh, died from the bleeding. And there we go. Quick, but messy. And around here somewhere, yes, here we are. Man, that's kind of pathetic. Alright, but that's the last thing between me and my new quest waypoint. So I figure I might as well just head on over there. Go up to the battlefield, see what's going on. You know, I don't think I've leveled since the last time my sword powered up. And oh, actually, hey, right here at the beginning of the game. Bandits calling themselves Temerian soldiers. Yeah, some of them are deserters, some of them are Temerian soldiers who have decided not to give up even though the country has surrendered. That'll happen.
You're here, good. Bastion... his body must be here somewhere.
Among countless others. Want to examine them one by one? Could take a while.
You needn't fret. The recruits from White Orchard painted a small flower on their shields so as to be able to spot each other in battle. There was just a few of them. We look for the flowers, we'll find Bastion quick.
No offense, but many a soldier's dropped his shield. Especially if he was on the losing side.
If we find the shield alone, Hassan will catch the scent and lead us to Bastion. Come on. Sooner we get this done, the better.
Alright, fair enough.
So many corpses. And the war's just started.
And the situation was not improved when Yennefer ended up in the middle of it. Killed a whole bunch of people. Oh, here's the ghouls. Better deal with them. Took a lot of blows. Nice. Instant death. Dang it. See, don't know if you were watching, but I got hit, and so I went from a level 5 charge to a level 3 charge. Or, no, level 5 to level 2. So it knocked off 3. Anyway, we've got a specific kind of Temerian shield to look for now. This kind.
That him?
No. Doesn't look anything like him.
Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastion, boy?
A lot of stuff we can pick up from the bodies here. A lot of bodies we can pick up stuff from. Looks like we're on the edge of the radius where the game expects us to look, though. The only thing to find here is just items.
That him?
No. Neighbour's son.
That dog is just growling.
Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastion, boy?
That him?
No. Neighbour's son.
Imagine there were a lot of them died this day.
Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastion, boy?
Still nothing.
What else is around here? There's more bodies to loot, I guess. And like I said, the weapons are deceptively expensive. But let's get back to searching for that shield. Oh, here's a new one.
Skin's burned off. Might be hard to tell, I know, but could this be him?
Oh, yeah. Bastion was big, broad-shouldered. This one seems smaller, but maybe it's the fire did that.
He found him! Hussar's caught his scent! Come on!
Oh, this is interesting. Bringing us to a little shack.
But there is more. My lieutenant demanded we defecate on command. Ballista bolts landing all around, and all he could say was, "A soldier with a full stomach will not step onto the battlefield." Now shit, that is an order. Can you believe it? The cretin.
Stop! You're killing me. My ribs. It hurts to laugh.
That needs a tourniquet. But first, want to explain what's going on here?
Bastion! Is he... Has this Nilfgaardian captured you?
No. He saved my life. I got a cut to my side, and then got hit in the head. Couldn't see anything. Rosin here found me as he crawled across the battlefield. His legs twisted. And so we were. Blind man leading a cripple. Found this place.
I'm taking you home. We need to see to these wounds.
I won't leave Rosin here. Alone he'll die. And he can't go back to his home. He's deserted. They'll hang him.
And what if they find him with us? They'll hang us all, my Laisha included. No, the Blacken stays here.
Bastion only made it with the Black One's help. Maybe you ought to show him Nordlings aren't as barbarous as Nilfgaardians make us out to be.
Well, I could give him our pa's clothes, teach him to work the field. But that accent... Fine, I'll take him in. Thank you, Witcher. Your reward. And the gods protect you.
The buckle on his shirt is the wrong way around. The pins are facing the loose end. It's not how it goes. I remember Dragon Age Origins, just about all of them were like that. It really bugged me. But yeah, the Nilfgaardian will be fine. Just tell everybody he's mute. Knocked his head in the war and can't speak anymore. But as for me, I'll see you for more Witchering next time.